I was studying in the Design Academy Eindhoven and I graduated 5 years ago. I'm doing mostly graphic and product design, and nowadays I'm living in Tel Aviv, in Israel. Like seriously working with glass or with blowing, it's the first experience, the first time I'm doing that. I did not blow the glass myself. I mean, I'm not a glass blower, but it was very interesting to work with a glass blower. And with working with the glass, what guide me is making vessels and also showing a relationship between glass and a second material. I started out working with elderly women, actually, and with the relation to their desired or their precious objects. So each woman I interviewed, which are 5 in total, I asked them to choose their favorite object, and of course together with their life story and who they are. And after I learned to know them, I define them by one word that I find the most fitting or the most suitable for each woman, and then also a material. So the material came out from the object that each woman chooses. So for example, if one woman told me about a very special a rolling pin that she got from her grandma. So it's a very old one of 100 years old, and it came from Austria. So she told me about the story about it, why it's so important and why she's so attached to it, and the material is wood in that sense. So then I used what I find as a word that can guide me working with the wood. For example, in her case, it's exploration. So together with the word exploration, wood and glass, I then created a new object. They didn't give me the object because, of course, that's a very precious object to them. So they keeping it safe at home. But that inspired me to go and search for a found object that is made of the same material. So if a rolling pin, go back to that example, is made of wood, then my guideline was going to a second-hand shop, and I was going for hunting wood, and then I collected them, and together with the glass blaserij, I was translating with glass wood. Yeah, I think the quick or the speed of how the glass react on the material, you really have no time, really. Like, you have to prepare it in advance, and you can be going with the flow or be spontaneous, but you can change it. It's like you have this few seconds and that's it. So sometimes, yeah, I learned that you cannot make a glass touch to a glass, it cracks, or like there were very exciting moments that, or I worked with wool, so I knew it's gonna burn, but still, you don't know how fast and the heat, like you can imagine, but the moment that it happened, it's very, it's frightening, but it's also exciting. So, for example, I put the carpet over the glass, and of course it burned, but that's also what I wanted to achieve in a way. But I didn't know it's gonna go so fast, and you don't really have time to react on it. So then the results changed, you know. That's a part of it, yeah. With every material, the relationship is different. The glass stays the same with the heat and the fragility, but I didn't really know. I mean, I had ideas that, okay, with metal probably it will hold better and wood will burn, but it was still challenging to see how I can make them together, you know, how I can blow them on the material, with the material, and inside the material, and it was always exciting. And even the one that broke or that cracked, I liked, because it's honest, and I think this is also what I wanted to show, the relationship and not always the perfection of a good relationship. It's more complex than that, I think. Even though those women, for most of us, or most of you, will be strangers, I think there is something very unique that comes in every story, and that's the essentials of life. You know, we all deal in the end with love and lost, happiness, or sadness. All these things are really come repetitive in different aspects of life and scenarios of each woman, and I think that we can all relate to it, because we're all in the end going through different ways similar things. So I think that it's worth reading some of the stories.